So I literally don't have very much time at all to film this, so I'm going to be really quick. This is a follow-up video to the previous Papulex Trial video. I've been using the Papulex products that I was sent for a week now, including some time spent away and travelling interstate for work. I've got some quick pros and some quick cons to share with you. Now, once again, as with the last video, this is a naked face. So this is my skin without any makeup on it whatsoever. I've got, a bit of an issue here. I've got some around here, some breakouts. I'm talking about issues. I still have some significant redness around my nose and slight cheeks, but not as much as it was. So quickly onto the pros. The first pro, which is probably a good one, but is something that has actually surprised me a lot, is that these products are actually, they appear to be doing something good for my skin. I'm very skeptical of any new product, highly skeptical, and still am very skeptical of this product. It's only been 1 week, and my skin naturally tends to clear a little bit after I've had that time of the month, which it has been in the last week. So I'm not sure how much of this clearness is due in fact to these Papulex products and how much is just due to regular hormonal cycle. I guess that's why we're doing the trial for 6 weeks, so we can see. But as far as this goes, I've not broken out any more than I normally would. I haven't felt any irritation or stinging or haven't had any reactions whatsoever. So they're real pros. Cons. I hate the smell of this. This is the soap-free cleansing gel, and it smells disgusting. I actually took my 20-year-old with me travelling for work last week, and we stopped at a public toilet, and I think I mentioned this last week, but this product smells like the cheap deodorizing cleansing stuff that they have in a public toilet or school toilet blocks. It's horrible. And as soon as we walked into that toilet, Dorothy straight away linked the smell of this with the toilet smell. It's just disgusting, and I don't know whether it's because I'm really conscious of it or just because it's really that way, but I can actually smell this on my skin for a long time after I've used it. This, however, which is the moisturizer equivalent, this is completely scent-free. So I like this one. This is excellent. This one, not so good. Another con is this lid is really stiff, really stiff. And I've kind of figured out how to get it off, but it's pulling the skin away from the inside of my nail bed, because I don't actually want to break my nails or chip my polish while I'm trying to open it. And unfortunately, it's I've actually done that more times than I've properly opened it. So Papulex, if you're watching, could you please do something about this lid? It's really tricky, especially for those of us with some nails or that like to keep our fingers manicured. We don't want to have to bust our fingernails trying to get this open, or we don't want to have to keep popping the entire lid off. It's actually easier to get this lid off than it is just to lift the flap. So just a bit of feedback for you about that. The other thing that I don't like at all, and this is a really small thing initially, but you'll understand what I'm talking about. The lid on this, whilst it might look exactly flat, it's not flat. And you might think that doesn't make any difference. Well, I like to actually sit the products that I use on my vanity. And if I can't sit them on my vanity, that means I've got to keep them underneath in a drawer or in another, container or something. And it means I'm less likely to use them. Now, because this is not exactly flat, when I put it on my vanity, it wobbles around and typically falls over. And if my husband's banging around or doing something in there, it never stays on my vanity. It falls off onto the floor. you know, it wobbles around all over the place. And again, a small thing, but not having it on my vanity means that I'm less likely to reach for it sort of longer term. If it weren't for the fact that I've committed to using this product for 6 weeks, I think already I would have sort of just not been using it as often as I have. It's only because I've committed to using this every day for 6 weeks, I think, that I have in fact used this every day. Even within inside of this first week, I would have just put this aside. It would have fallen down, I would have got really sick of it, thrown it into my bag and just really not used it and stopped using it. I think the other thing that I've previously mentioned, and you know, now that I have been using this for at least a week, is that I personally have a preference for dosed dispensers, or for dispensers. So, you know, having to unscrew the lid and then you've got to put it down, and then you've got to squeeze the product out, and then you've got to put the tube down, and then you've got to, you know, put it all over your face, and I've got these two things here, and then I've got to like screw it on. And again, you might think I'm being really picky, and that's fine, but how much easier is it if the product is sitting flat on my vanity and I can just press a pump, or if I can just pick it up, pump it onto my skin, put it down, and then I'm done. It's really easy. And the same thing for the cleanser. The other benefit to having dispensers is that you can specify a metered dose. So that way you can, you know, put on the back here in the instructions how to use it, 1 pump to wash your face, or 2 pumps or 5 pumps, or whatever it is that it's going to be. That way again, you pick up the product, you pump it out, you put the product down, and then you can use it. You don't have to worry about popping and lids coming off and everything flying all over in every direction. Now, they're the cons. I've banged on about the cons a lot longer than I banged on about the pros. I don't think at this stage that the cons are outweighing the pros, and I don't think that the pros are necessarily outweighing the cons. And that's just because that I haven't been using it for long enough. Oh, actually, there is one other big con. And this will depend completely on what makeup you use, whether or not you normally use makeup. Just so that you know, I have fairly dry skin, but with an oily T-zone. Now this product is definitely mattifying. It mattifies my skin. I really like it. It doesn't make my face look cakey or dry, which is great for the dry areas. It just keeps it all looking quite natural, which is great. However, my foundation does not sit well over this product at all. And I actually had to go out and buy a foundation primer, which I don't like to do if I can avoid it, only because the less product on my skin, the better, the more it can breathe. So those days when I'm working or when I'm really going out and about, I'm having to put on a primer, then I'm having to put on my foundation along with my concealer, whether it be a green concealer to negate the redness, as well as a regular, more highly pigmented concealer, and then my salmon concealer under my eyes to get rid of the blueness and all of these sort of things. So it's an extra product that has to go all over the face just to make my foundation work. Now you might not have that problem with this product because you might use a different foundation. I'm currently using the Maybelline. It has a really long name. I featured it in my previous travel bag video. I'll put the link underneath. But anyway, I'm currently using those foundations and concealers, and they really just don't work with this product at all, at least not on my skin. That's a pretty big con for me, but still, we'll give it the 6 weeks, we'll give it another 5 weeks, and see what I think of the products at the end of that time, and see what my skin thinks of the products at that time. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week.